Rosie, as you could probably tell, there's a lot of difference between the leftovers that you would find in my fridge and the leftovers you'll find in yours. So what I've got is some meats here that I'm going to make with my fried rice. And I did, because the theme is, of course, leftover vegetables, I did manage to find this stick of celery right down the back of the crisper there. It has got a bit of a bend to it.
Right out of 1996, that one, isn't it? Yep.
So what we're going to do is make Richo's version of a fried rice. I'm going to get you to crack 4 eggs straight into that little bowl there. In the meantime, I'm going to slice this onion nice and fine. Now, the thing about a fried rice is everything sort of has to be cut up nice and fine like this. So that way it cooks really, really quickly. And the other part of it is to have a good fried rice, you do have to use rice that you've used the day before. It sort of separates really well. It is really nice in a fried rice.
I always cook too much rice anyway. Like, friends are around, so there's always a little bit of extra going around.
You have to have leftover rice. And I have a young boy, his favourite breakfast in the morning is actually rice. So if we do have any rice, we'll just put it in the microwave for just a minute. It gets nice and hot. I know it sounds a bit wacky, but that's what he chooses.
That's very cultured of him. I like it.
You've got 4 eggs that go in there. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of soy sauce in there and a tablespoon of dark soy sauce as well. Ooh. There we go. In it goes. And that's going to flavour the eggs. What I like is a little omelette to put through the fried rice.
I must admit, this is my favourite part for fried rice. I love that little sweet omelette part.
You've got to have that. And have a little bit of soy sauce here that makes it delicious. Now, my fry pan's here. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and some in this pan here. We're going to use this one to fry the omelette. And I'll grab that off you, Rosie.
There we go.
And what we're going to do is pop it straight in here. There's a little bit of heat in there, not too much. It's on a medium heat. And what I'll do is I'll make sure I get all the egg out of that. Just stir that round just a little bit like this. And you get an omelette that will form beautifully. And you can see we're using a really, really nice non-stick pan. Nothing will stick to this at all. Give that bit of a tap like that. It's like the bell sounds, isn't it? Now, what I'm going to do is throw the onion, the garlic and the ginger into the pan to get it frying. In the meantime, if you can chop up some of that spring onion and the coriander for me, what I'm going to do is take the rind off the bacon here, which I think is a fantastic part of it. What I'll do is I'll peel it off like this, and I pop it into the fry pan like that so it renders down.
I knew that wasn't going to go far. Yeah.
There's not a single scrap of bacon that gets left over or goes to waste in my house. I can assure you of that.
Leave no one behind.
No, not at all. Now, what I'll do is I'll cut this bacon into little strips like this. And you can see it's lovely fatty bacon. The fat's what gives it its flavour. It just makes it so delicious. So what I'll do...
have the good stuff, right?
You've got to use the good stuff. I'm going to pop this piece of bacon right here in front of you so that you can just keep your eye on it for me so it doesn't sort of wander off anywhere.
Noted.
Now, I'm just going to cut this into a nice little dice. Really easy, straight through there like that. And then I just turn it on its side here and just chop it all the way through. It's a nice, quick, easy way to cut it, nice and fine, so it heats up, goes nice and crispy, and flavours my fried rice beautifully. In it goes. What I'll do is I'll give it a bit of a toss like that to get it all frying off nicely. Now you can see I'm using a big flat pan, which actually holds all the heat, which means I can cook a little bit more. Some people like to use a wok, but for me, a flat pan like that is perfect. Now this is the lap chong, which is the Chinese sausage, and there's always some of this hanging in the fridge. It lasts forever, and it's got a nice sweet flavour that works really well. Now, of course, if you've got some leftover sausage from the barbecue on the weekend, some lamb sausage, some pork sausage, some beef sausage, you could always throw that in as well. The more sausage that goes into a fried rice, the better, because it's got lots of fat in it and lots of flavour.
I'm just surprised you have any leftover sausage anywhere, really.
Well, I was going to say
it's not going to last long in your fridge, is it?
There's no such thing as leftovers in my place. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Now, what I've got is the celery here because that's going to make it tasty. And what I do is I cut the celery all the way through like this. So I get these long strips, and this is a great way to do a little dice. When you cut it into long strips like that, you just cut it all the way through here, and you get that perfect little dice. Looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
Looks adorable.
And the idea, I suppose, is to get everything the same sort of size as a pea, and that way it all cooks nicely. Now you can see this omelette is just starting to set beautifully on the side. And what I'm going to do, Rosie, I've got this chopping board over here, and I'll just give it a bit of a flop like that so it goes on its side, and then slide it straight off here. Let it cool down for a second or so, 1, 2, 3 seconds. And then I want you to chop into it, and then I'm going to put that all the way through the fried rice. And some chilli, of course, a couple of bits of chilli. Now, if you're feeding the kids, you might not want to put too much chilli in there because it does burn their little mouths.
Just for us, though. We'll
exactly.
Get that in there.
You and I. Now, I've also got some curry powder. Not everyone likes curry powder in their fried rice. I love it. Just a little half teaspoon of that will give it some lovely flavour. Now, all I do is give that a bit of a toss. Now, Rosie, when we're cooking anything at all which has meat in it. In particular, we need to make sure we add plenty of salt and pepper. That's what's the most important thing. Salt brings out the flavour. Now keep in mind that bacon and sausage always have a little bit of salt in it, so we always pull back just a little bit on it. Now I've got some roasted chicken breast that was left over. I was going to put it in a sandwich with some mayonnaise and tomato, but I thought it would work really well in my fried rice. But you think there's something missing from here, Rosie? What do you reckon? There's something really important missing? You guessed it, the rice, because that's what it is, fried rice. Now, at this stage here, you can see it's all sweated down beautifully. What I do is I put the rice straight in here. Now, sometimes I might put this in the microwave and heat it up a little bit, but I've got enough heat in this pan to heat the whole thing all the way through. And if you can pass me some of that soy sauce as well, I might even pop some of that in there. Now, all we need to do, Rosie, is stir this around for a minute or two till it all comes together. Then we'll throw our herbs in here, the omelette, and then we'll serve it up. Okay, Rosie, a little toss there. You can see it's steaming hot. Grab some of those sauces there. I like a lot of soy in mine, so grab some of that. Pour it in. Go on, Rosie. You know you want to. There we go. The thick sauce makes it nice and sweet. The soy sauce makes it delicious as well. What all I need to do is stir that around. You can hear as soon as the sauce goes in there, you get a great sizzle.
I can smell it.
In goes the coriander and the spring onion, and grab that egg there. I'm going to put that through as well. Throw it in there. You can see that big bit of bacon there as well. Nice and delicious. Stir that around. Oh, egg through there, herbs through there, give it a bit of a toss. Now, if you're not good at tossing the pan like this, don't worry, just spoon is fine. Now, grab that bowl over there, Rosie. What I'm going to do is serve some of this up, pop some fried rice straight into the bowl like this. Look at that. It's looking gorgeous, isn't it?
It is, look gorgeous, really gorgeous.
In fact, what I'm going to do is put that bowl there and spoon it straight in like this.
What about this little guy? He's still hanging out
the
in there?
little piece of bacon is snuggled in there. I might save him for later on. You know, when you leave, I might just grab some of that and have a little nibble on it.
Alone time with him.
Now, what I'm going to do is put some deep fried shallots over the top of there like that, so it gives it a lovely little crunch. And I always have lots of deep fried shallot lying around left over, so pop that over there.
Yeah.
Have a little taste.
Well, I want
of
to
it.
try this egg, very much so.
The egg is the best part. It's nice and sweet and luscious, and look at that. Lapchong sausage in there, peas, lots of sauce.
Oh, I know, we've always got abundant rice. It's a great idea to just make sure that we kind of upcycle it. Absolutely delicious. The soy sauce is gorgeous.
A couple of prawns and I reckon it'd be perfect.